cold mist of early morning, somewhere between the jagged peaks of ancient mountains and the profound silence of the valley below, a shepherd stopped walking. He felt a change in the air, a stillness that wasn't there before. His sheep froze, sensing a presence that defied nature. Even the wind, which usually howled through these passes, suddenly stopped. It was as if the world itself was holding its breath. It was a moment where time seemed to stand still, suspended in the cool gray light of the dawn, and standing there, silhouetted against the pale orb of the moon on a rocky hill, was a horse he had never seen before. It was not a normal horse of flesh and bone. Its body shone with a radiance like moonlight caught in a physical form. Its mane moved with a slow, ethereal grace, even though there was no wind to stir it. And there, from the center of its forehead, something long, sharp, and glimmering caught the light. A single, perfect horn that seemed to pulse with a light of its own, a beacon in the darkness of the night. The shepherd did not run. He could not find the strength to flee, for he was not afraid. The animal was not frightening. It was watching him with a depth of understanding that felt ancient and incredibly wise. For thousands of years, across every culture and every age, humans have told stories about this magical creature, the unicorn. But what if the legend did not come from imagination alone? What if, somewhere in the forgotten corners of our wilderness, a real animal created this enduring myth that has lived in our hearts for generations? Long before cameras, before the birth of science, and even before written language was carved into stone, humans drew the animals they saw on cave walls. In the dark recesses of caves in France, in India, and across Central Asia, archaeologists have discovered something strange and unsettling. Among the familiar drawings of deer, bison, and wild horses, there were creatures depicted with one long, solitary horn on the head. Not two, one. And these drawings are over 30,000 years old. Ancient people were observers, not fantasists. They drew what they encountered in their daily struggle for survival, capturing the truth of the world as they saw it. Many historians now believe that early humans encountered a rare and specialized type of wild horse, a powerful, solitary animal that intentionally avoided human contact. It was faster than normal horses, more alert to the slightest change in the environment, and seemingly impossible to catch. Hunters spoke of arrows that missed their mark as if guided away by a spirit. Dogs refused to chase it, sensing a power they couldn't understand. Slowly, the stories began to shift. It was no longer seen as just an animal, but as a spirit of the wild itself, a guardian of the places where humans were never meant to go. The strange thing is, every civilization, separated by oceans and mountains, described the same creature. In ancient China, they called it the qilin, a sacred animal that was said to appear only when the world was at peace and ruled by wisdom. In the high plains of Persia, warriors believed the unicorn's horn possessed the power to purify poisoned water, making the land safe for their people. In medieval Europe, the legend grew even stronger. Kings sent their greatest hunters into the deepest forests to capture it. They never succeeded. The unicorn remained a ghost, a symbol of everything that could not be tamed by the hands of men. Even today, in the most remote and untouched regions of Mongolia and Central Asia, herders still speak of a mysterious wild horse that haunts the high ridges. They say it appears only at dawn, standing like a statue against the rising sun. It never allows humans to approach, and it runs without leaving clear tracks, as if it glides over the earth. Some claim it watches from the hilltops, not with aggression or fear, but with a calm, observing intelligence. Wild horses are among the most sensitive animals on Earth, reading human emotion instantly. To ancient people, this intelligence looked like a supernatural guardianship, a silent watch over the vastness of the steppe. The unicorn was never just a creature of biology. It was a vessel for hope. In the darkest times of human history, during war, famine, and disease, humans clung to the belief that if they could only catch a glimpse of the unicorn, good days would return. It became a symbol on royal shields and a sign for healers. It represented a world untouched by human cruelty, a creature that cannot be owned, cannot be controlled, and cannot be captured. It was freedom itself, manifested in a form that remains wild, no matter how much our world changes and grows. It is the untamed spirit that lives in the heart of the wild. In 1820, a traveler crossing the vast Asian steppe recorded a remarkable entry in his journal. He described seeing a magnificent white wild horse standing alone at the moment of sunrise. He tried to approach, but for the first time in his travels, an animal didn't flee in terror. It simply looked at him for a long, profound moment. Then, with a grace that seemed impossible, it turned and ran directly into the blinding golden light of the new day. He wrote only one line after the encounter. "I feel I have seen something I was never meant to see twice." He never saw it again, but the memory stayed with him for the rest of his life. Maybe the unicorn never truly disappeared. Maybe we just stopped looking for the magic in the world around us. Not every legend is a lie. Some are memories left behind by nature, waiting for us to listen again. Somewhere beyond our cities, beyond the noise of machines, the wild still breathes. And on a quiet morning, on a lonely hill, a horse may still stand in the mist, watching us, just as it always has. If you enjoyed this journey into the memory of the wild, join us as we discover more forgotten stories. The wilderness remembers everything. We just have to hear it. It is calling to us, always. Background music continues as the camera sweeps through the silent mountains, capturing the eternal beauty of the wild. Here, the memory of the unicorn lives on in the silence of the high ridges and the whisper of the wind as it dances through the valleys and peaks. The forest stands still, a sanctuary of ancient memory where the unicorn once roamed in the shadows of the old world. Every leaf and stone tells a story of a time when the world was untouched and magic was as real as the earth beneath our feet, a truth hidden in the dappled sunlight. The wilderness is waiting for you to return and listen to its stories. Thank you for taking this long journey with us into the heart of the legend. Until we meet again in the memory of the wild, stay curious, stay hopeful, and stay wild. Final credits roll over a cinematic sunset landscape as the music fades into the distance, leaving only the sound of the wild.